What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's always a huge thanks for coming back. We really appreciate you. So today is a pretty exciting day. As you can see, we've got both OBS's back in the shop. You know what that means. We're back on OBS videos, working on OBS's and doing some axle swaps. Today marks the start of the dually build. We are going to be swapping some F450 axles on this thing, and I couldn't be any more excited. We've got some beef right here, guys. We've got a rear Dana 110 from a pickup truck, not a cabin chassis. I'll explain that, why that's important in a little bit. And then over here we've got just a monotube axle from a 2021, I believe, F450. This thing's an absolute beast. Again, we'll go over all of this in a little bit, but again, like I said, I couldn't be any more excited to start working on this thing. And then we'll go over what's going to be going on with this truck here in a little bit too. Alright guys, so update time. We've got this thing on the air. As you can see, we got this thing on jack stands, and we've got the front end pretty much completely tore out of it, except at least suspension wise. We still have the coil buckets and the radius arm brackets that we got to take off, as well as the beam brackets off the coil buckets, but the actual suspension is completely off of this thing. Now Austin here is not going down without a fight. This pivot arm puller here has never let me down. It's pulled every pivot arm that I have ever attached it to, but this one is giving me some problems, and the biggest problem that I'm having is that if you see the space right here where the puller's supposed to go, the pivot arm is really up against the gearbox, and the puller can't get a good bite on it, so it just kind of slips off of it. And I've been fighting it all day, on and off. I get tired of fighting with it, and I'll jump and do some packaging, but I am determined to get this thing off right now. So we're gonna get that pivot arm off of there. We're gonna pull off the coil bucket, the radius arm brackets, and then we're gonna bust out the 3D printer. I wish I had one of those. The 3D scanner, and we're gonna go ahead and scan this whole frame. And basically the idea is, again, to try and use as many of these bolt holes as we can for the kit. And hopefully, I believe behind the bucket there's a couple more holes in there, if I remember correctly. But if not, we'll at least use these two, and then whatever we can use from the bottom. So should be fun. All right guys, so my buddy Austin here totally whooped my butt tonight. It's almost midnight, but I am finally done with pulling all the brackets and everything, and this thing's basically ready to 3D scan tomorrow morning. And that's the part that I'm really excited about, because that's when I can actually go to the computer and not necessarily redesign the buckets, because I don't think they'll need that much rework, but just get that bolt positioning perfect, and then cut them out and start testing stuff out. Super dark under there, but as you can see, we've got the coil buckets and the ready sound brackets completely removed. The pivot arm is still kicking my ass. That thing is definitely still really stuck on there. So plan B is actually going to be removing the whole gearbox and just throwing an 05 gearbox in there. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. I am going to pull it off, try a couple more things to try and pull it on the bench. And if that doesn't work, then yeah, we'll probably just throw a 05 gearbox in there. Might as well. We're already here. But yeah, guys, this thing is rolling along. I am super excited. I am also fairly tired. We've been surviving on monsters, so yeah, I should probably go take a nap. We will check back in tomorrow morning when we start 3D scanning this thing and jumping in the office on the computer and building the new kit for the two-wheel drive kit trucks. Again, I am super excited to be able to make these swaps as easy as possible. It doesn't matter if you're on a two-wheel drive truck, four-wheel drive truck. I want you guys to be able to drill the least amount of holes as possible, or at least give you locations where there's already holes on the frame and you can just make them bigger. But yeah, super excited about this. Yeah, I'm already talking too much. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'll check back in the morning. Okay guys, so I spent the better part of this entire day working on the truck and scanning it. So as you can see, we've got our 3D scanning software and the actual tool open, and we've gone ahead and scanned everything. Last night we took off the coil buckets, the radius sound brackets, everything, and we've eventually just gone through the frame and scanned all of this. So this is gonna make it super easy for me to go ahead and take my existing coil buckets and basically compare them to this frame and see where I gotta modify the holes that are already on it. So again, I absolutely love this tool. This is the Shining 3D by Einstar 3D scanner. This is their software, and it all works seamlessly. Especially after over the 4th of July. Huge shout out to my nephew. My family came over to celebrate at my house, and that kid is great with computers and all that stuff. He was an IT sort of kid, and I conned him into coming over to the shop and upgrading the computer for me. So we installed 2 terabytes of SSD storage, and then 64 gigabytes of VRAM or RAM, whatever. I don't know anything about computers, but all I know is that this computer is having a much easier time now processing everything that we're scanning. So it's running so good, and I'm super excited to take this to the office and then make an actual model of the whole frame, because right now all the scans are basically mashed together, so it's not really cohesive, as you can see. But we'll go in the computer and kind of fix all of this and put everything in the place that it should go, and it's going to look like an actual frame of the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and do all that. Okay guys, and this is what it looks like when we finally have the frame model in the computer. As you can see, it's a perfect replica of the OBS frame, at least the parts that we need. And as you can see, I already have the bolt pattern moved around so that it works on the coil bucket, so that it works with the two-wheel drive OBS frame. So as you can see, we'll be able to use that hole, that one, that one, that one. And we're also going to be using that one and that one. These will stay on there, and those you will have to drill them out, but that's just if you want to use the bump stops. That's all those two holes are there for. And again, if you want to use the bump stops, you can go ahead and drill those two holes out and use those bump stops. We'll probably also include a hole here in the middle if you want to use the Super Duty bump stops. Then on the radius arms, we also have it lined up with those two holes on the frame, as well as that bottom hole on the frame. Now you will have to drill out, you'll have to drill out all of these holes to fit the 1/2-inch hardware that we send with the kit. These ones is just a little bit, they're already like 7/16, so you should be able to get the 1/2-inch hardware to fit in there pretty easily. These holes though, they're like 3/8, 5/16, so they are pretty small, so you'll definitely have to drill those up a couple slices up. And then on this other side, these two holes aren't in the frame, so you will have to drill out those two holes. And then we don't use this hole anymore on our kits, but you will have to drill out this hole on the frame. So again, you will still need to drill out a few holes, but you know, it's nothing like before. Before you had to drill out every hole on the coil bucket and every hole on the radius arm brackets. But now with our kits, with the two-wheel drive kits, you will have most of the holes already on the brackets to use with your frame, so we're pretty excited about that. And again guys, we are pretty close to being done with the development of this kit. We already have both coil buckets, the pattern figured out, same with the radius arm brackets, so all we have to do now is just slide the axle underneath it, and the front will be done by the next video, and then we'll jump on the rear. So we gotta see what we gotta do with that, and we should be good to go. Again, we are super excited about this swap. This truck has been needing new axles for a while, and we're super excited to finally be able to do that. This thing's gonna be an absolute beast. I also have an 05 Plus gearbox coming for this thing, so another great upgrade. And this is just a quick box of goodies that we have for the swap. We got Skyjacker shocks, because as you guys might know, we are now Skyjacker dealers, so we're also really excited about that. So they sent us a set of Skyjacker shocks for this thing to use on it. I will be using the stock springs for this thing. I have a few set of springs that I've kind of just collected over time, and we'll find the smallest, lightest duty spring from that pile and use it on this truck. Because again, my goal with this thing is to keep it as slow as it possibly can. Once we get the whole swap done, if I have the chance to make that coil bucket a couple inches longer to drop the front, I might, but for now we'll just see how it goes. Another thing that I can also do if I want it lower is I'm thinking about cutting down those coil spring pads that, well, what attaches to the pad, cutting it down as much as I can to again drop it an inch and a half, just to again just to keep this thing as low as it possibly can. Again guys, if you are as excited as we are for this swap, you know, leave a like, leave any comments that you might have down below, or any suggestions while we're doing R&D for the kit. I would love to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe, because again, we are just starting this build. We might possibly be acquiring a new project. I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to get too excited, but we'll see tomorrow what happens. But yeah, again, leave a like, leave any comments you might have down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.